Welcome to Miss Scarlett. Subscribe and don't miss out on Patreon. Have fun! The sun-drenched bedroom cast long shadows across the hardwood floor as Amanda burst through the door, her face flushed with anger. She'd been searching the house for her favorite blue dress, the one with delicate lace trim. It was perfect for her date tonight, and she'd torn apart her closet looking for it. The last place she expected to find it was on her 20-year-old brother, Matthew. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" Amanda's voice cracked like a whip, making Matthew flinch. He stood frozen in front of her full-length mirror, the blue fabric of her dress hanging loosely from his lanky frame. Matthew's eyes went wide with panic as he spun around to face her. I can explain. You better start talking fast," Amanda growled, crossing her arms over her chest. Her foot tapped an impatient rhythm against the floor. "Because from where I'm standing, it looks like you've been sneaking into my room and stealing my clothes." Matthew's face crumpled, tears welling up in his eyes.
"Please, don't be mad,"
he whispered, his voice barely audible.
"I didn't mean any harm. I swear."
Amanda's anger faltered for a moment at the sight of her brother's distress. She'd expected defiance or even mockery, not this raw vulnerability. Still, she pressed on, determined to get to the bottom of this bizarre situation. "Then what exactly did you mean by putting on my dress? Because I'm having a hard time coming up with an innocent explanation here." Matthew's shoulders slumped as he sank down onto the edge of Amanda's bed, the dress billowing around him. He stared at his hands, twisting them nervously in his lap. "I've been curious," he began haltingly, "about what it feels like to wear different clothes,
to look different."
Amanda's brow furrowed in confusion. "What are you talking about? You have plenty of your own clothes." Matthew shook his head, still not meeting her eyes. "Not like that. I mean, I've been wondering what it might be like to dress more feminine." The words hung in the air between them, heavy with implication. Amanda felt her anger dissipating, replaced by a growing sense of concern and bewilderment. "Matthew," she said, her voice softer now, "are you trying to tell me something?" He nodded, a tear slipping down his cheek. "I don't know how to explain it. Sometimes I look in the mirror and the person staring back at me doesn't feel right, like I'm wearing a costume that doesn't fit." Amanda moved to sit beside him on the bed, her initial fury completely forgotten. She placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "Hey, it's okay. You can talk to me. I'm listening." Matthew took a shaky breath. "I've been feeling this way for a while now. Sometimes I wonder if maybe I'm not supposed to be a boy at all." The admission seemed to hang in the air, weighty and transformative. Amanda felt as though the ground had shifted beneath her feet, altering her entire perception of her little brother. Or perhaps, she realized with a jolt, her little sister. "How long have you been feeling this way?" Amanda asked gently, giving Matthew's shoulder a reassuring squeeze. Matthew sniffled, wiping at his eyes with the back of his hand. "A couple of years, I guess. At first I thought it was just normal teenage stuff, you know? Everyone feels awkward and out of place sometimes. But it never went away. If anything, it got stronger." Amanda nodded, encouraging him to continue. She could see how much courage it was taking for Matthew to open up like this. "I started looking stuff up online," Matthew went on, "about gender identity and expression, and a lot of what I read, it just clicked, you know? Like finally finding the right words to describe what I've been feeling." Amanda's mind was reeling, trying to process this new information. She thought back over the past few years, searching for signs she might have missed. There had been little things. Matthew's growing discomfort with traditionally masculine activities, his increasing withdrawal from his old friends, but she'd chalked it up to normal teenage moodiness and angst. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" she asked, careful to keep any hint of accusation out of her voice.
"You know you can always talk to me about anything."
Matthew shrugged, looking miserable.
"I was scared. I didn't want to disappoint you or Mom and Dad, and I wasn't even sure myself, you know? I thought maybe if I ignored it, these feelings would go away."
Amanda's heart ached for her sibling. She couldn't imagine carrying such a weighty secret for so long. "Oh, sweetie," she murmured, pulling Matthew into a tight hug. "You could never disappoint me. I love you, no matter what." Matthew clung to her, his body shaking with quiet sobs. Amanda held him close, rubbing soothing circles on his back until the tears subsided. "I'm sorry I yelled at you earlier," Amanda said when Matthew finally pulled away. "I had no idea what was really going on." Matthew offered a watery smile.
"It's okay."
"I probably would have freaked out too if I caught you wearing my clothes." They both chuckled at that, the tension in the room finally beginning to ease.
"So,"
Amanda said, gesturing to the dress Matthew was still wearing. "How does it feel?" Matthew looked down, running his hands over the soft fabric.
"It feels right,"
he admitted softly. "Like I can finally breathe. Does that sound crazy?" Amanda shook her head. "Not at all. It sounds like you're finally allowing yourself to be who you really are." Matthew's eyes welled up with fresh tears, but this time they were accompanied by a smile of relief. "I was so afraid you'd hate me," he whispered. "Never," Amanda said firmly. "You're my sibling, and I love you unconditionally. This doesn't change that. If anything, it just means I get to know the real you even better." Matthew nodded, clearly overwhelmed by emotion. Amanda gave him a moment to collect himself before broaching the next topic. "So, have you thought about what this means going forward?" she asked gently. "Like, do you want to start presenting as female more often? Or try out a different name?" Matthew bit his lip, looking uncertain. I've thought about it, but it all seems so overwhelming. I wouldn't even know where to start." Amanda's face lit up with determination. "Well, lucky for you, you've got an awesome big sister who knows all about fashion and makeup. If you want, I could help you figure some of this stuff out." Matthew's eyes widened with a mix of hope and trepidation. "Really? You'd do that for me?" "Of course," Amanda exclaimed. "That's what sisters are for, right? And hey, if we're going to do this, we should probably start by finding you a name that feels more like you. Any ideas?" Matthew hesitated for a moment, then spoke softly. "I've always liked the name Madeline, but I don't know if it suits me." Amanda tilted her head, considering. "Madeline," she repeated, testing the name out. "I like it. It's elegant and feminine, but still strong. How about we try it out and see how it feels?" Matthew, "No, Madeline now," nodded, a shy smile spreading across her face. "Okay, yeah, let's try it." Amanda grinned, feeling a surge of excitement. "All right then, Madeline. What do you say we raid my closet and see what other outfits we can put together for you?" Madeline's eyes lit up with enthusiasm. "Can we really?" "Absolutely," Amanda declared, jumping to her feet and throwing open her closet doors. "Consider this your official welcome to the wonderful world of women's fashion." For the next few hours, Amanda's bedroom transformed into a whirlwind of fabric, laughter, and self-discovery. They sorted through piles of clothes, with Amanda offering suggestions, and Madeline timidly trying on different outfits. "How about this one?" Amanda held up a flowing maxi skirt in a vibrant floral print. Madeline ran her fingers over the soft material, a look of wonder on her face. "It's beautiful," she breathed. "But won't it be too long on me?" Amanda shook her head. That's the great thing about maxi skirts. They're supposed to be long. Here, try it on with this top. She tossed Madeline a simple white blouse, turning her back to give her sibling some privacy as she changed. When she turned back around, her breath caught in her throat. Madeline stood before her, the skirt swirling around her ankles and the blouse accentuating her slim frame. There was a light in her eyes that Amanda had never seen before, a confidence that seemed to radiate from within. "Oh, Maddie!" Amanda whispered, using the nickname without even thinking about it. "You look amazing!" Madeline blushed, smoothing her hands over the skirt. "Really? You don't think it looks weird on me?" "Not at all," Amanda assured her. "It suits you perfectly. Come here, let's see how it looks with some accessories." She led Madeline over to her jewelry box, rifling through it until she found a delicate silver necklace with a small butterfly pendant. "This will complement the outfit beautifully," she said, fastening it around Madeline's neck. Madeline touched the pendant gently, her eyes wide with wonder. "I've never worn jewelry before," she murmured. "Well, get used to it, sister," Amanda laughed, "because there's a whole world of accessories out there just waiting for you to discover them." As they continued their fashion exploration, Amanda couldn't help but notice the gradual change in Madeline's demeanor. With each new outfit, each small feminine touch, she seemed to grow more comfortable in her own skin. The nervous, withdrawn Matthew was fading away, replaced by a Madeline who laughed more freely and held her head a little higher. "You know," Amanda said, as she helped Madeline adjust the fit of a cute sundress, "we should probably think about getting you some clothes of your own. As much as I love sharing, you can't keep borrowing my stuff forever." Madeline's face fell slightly. "I hadn't even thought about that," she admitted. "I don't know how I'd explain buying girls' clothes to Mom and Dad." Amanda frowned, realizing they'd have to address that hurdle sooner rather than later. "We'll figure something out," she promised. "Maybe we can say they're for a school project or something. And in the meantime, we can look online. There are lots of great sites with cute clothes that deliver discreetly." Madeline nodded, looking relieved. "That sounds good. I'm not ready for everyone to know yet. And that's totally okay," Amanda assured her. "This is your journey, Maddie. You get to decide when and how to share it with others. I'm just here to support you however I can." Madeline's eyes welled up with tears again, but this time they were accompanied by a radiant smile. "I don't know what I'd do without you," she said, pulling Amanda into a tight hug. Amanda hugged her back just as fiercely. "That's what big sisters are for," she said, her own voice thick with emotion. "Now, what do you say we tackle makeup next?" Madeline pulled back, her eyes wide with a mix of excitement and trepidation. "Makeup? I don't know the first thing about it." Amanda grinned, already reaching for her extensive collection of cosmetics. "Don't worry, I'll teach you everything you need to know. By the time I'm done with you, you'll be a regular beauty guru." She patted the chair in front of her vanity, motioning for Madeline to sit down. As her sister settled into the seat, Amanda couldn't help but marvel at how natural it felt to think of Madeline as her sister now. It was as if a puzzle piece she hadn't even realized was missing had finally clicked into place. "Okay, first things first," Amanda began, laying out an array of products on the vanity. "Skincare is the foundation of any good makeup routine. We'll start with a gentle cleanser to prep your skin." She guided Madeline through the process of washing her face and applying moisturizer, explaining the importance of each step. Madeline listened intently, soaking up every bit of information like a sponge. "Now for the fun part," Amanda declared, holding up a tube of foundation. "We'll start with a light coverage foundation to even out your skin tone. The key is to find a shade that matches your natural skin color perfectly. She demonstrated how to apply the foundation, showing Madeline how to blend it seamlessly into her skin. As she worked, she couldn't help but notice how Madeline's features seemed to soften, taking on a more feminine appearance with just this simple step. Next, we'll add a touch of color to your cheeks, Amanda explained, picking up a blush palette. The trick is to smile and apply it to the apples of your cheeks, like this. She demonstrated on herself first, then handed the brush to Madeline. You try. Madeline's hand shook slightly as she took the brush, but she followed Amanda's instructions carefully. A soft, pink blush bloomed on her cheeks, bringing a healthy glow to her complexion. Perfect, Amanda praised. You're a natural at this, Maddie. Madeline beamed at the compliment, her confidence growing with each passing moment. They moved on to eye makeup next, with Amanda showing Madeline how to apply eyeshadow, eyeliner, and mascara. She kept the look subtle and natural, not wanting to overwhelm her sister with anything too dramatic for her first time. Remember, makeup is all about enhancing your natural beauty, Amanda explained as she demonstrated how to curl eyelashes. It's not about changing who you are, but about expressing yourself and feeling confident. Madeline nodded, watching intently in the mirror as Amanda worked. I never realized how much goes into this, she admitted. It's kind of intimidating. Amanda laughed. Trust me, it gets easier with practice. And you don't have to do a full face every day. Sometimes just a bit of mascara and lip gloss is all you need to feel put together. Speaking of lip gloss, that was their final step. Amanda selected a soft pink shade that complemented Madeline's natural lip color. Pucker up, she instructed, carefully applying the gloss. And there you have it. Take a look. Madeline turned to face the mirror fully, and for a moment, she just stared in silence. Amanda held her breath, watching her sister's reaction carefully. Is that really me? Madeline whispered, reaching up to touch her face gently. Amanda nodded, fighting back tears of her own. That's you, Maddie. The real you. Madeline's eyes welled up, but she was smiling so brightly it was like the sun coming out from behind the clouds. I can't believe it, she said softly. I look beautiful, Amanda finished for her. You look absolutely beautiful, inside and out. Madeline turned and threw her arms around Amanda, hugging her tightly. Thank you, she whispered. For everything. Amanda hugged her back just as fiercely. Always, she promised. I'm so proud of you, Maddie, and I'm honored that you trusted me enough to share this part of yourself. As they pulled apart, both sisters wiping at their eyes and laughing a little at their emotional display, Amanda's mind was already racing with plans. You know, she said thoughtfully, if we're going to do this right, we should probably think about getting you a proper makeover, like at a real salon. Madeline's eyes widened. A salon? I don't know, Amanda. That seems scary. Amanda nodded understandingly. I know it might seem overwhelming, but hear me out. A professional stylist could help you find a hairstyle that really suits your face shape and brings out your feminine features. And they could teach you some more advanced makeup techniques that I might not know. Madeline bit her lip, considering. But what if someone recognizes me? We could go to a salon in the next town over, Amanda suggested. Somewhere no one knows us. And we could say you're my cousin visiting from out of town if anyone asks. Madeline nodded slowly, warming to the idea. That might actually work, but I wouldn't even know where to start with choosing a hairstyle. Amanda grinned, already pulling out her phone. Leave that to me. I've got some ideas that I think would look amazing on you. For the next hour, they pored over hairstyle magazines and online galleries, with Amanda pointing out styles she thought would suit Madeline's face shape and personality. "How about something like this?" Amanda suggested, showing Madeline a picture of a shoulder-length cut with soft layers and side-swept bangs. "It's feminine without being too drastic of a change from your current length." Madeline studied the picture, a small smile playing at her lips. "I like it," she admitted. "Do you really think I could pull that off?" "Absolutely," Amanda assured her. "It would frame your face beautifully and bring out your cheekbones. Plus, it's versatile enough that you could style it different ways depending on your mood." As they continued to discuss hairstyles and makeup looks, Amanda could see Madeline's excitement growing. The initial fear and uncertainty were giving way to a genuine enthusiasm for exploring this new aspect of herself. "You know," Amanda said thoughtfully, "we should probably think about getting you some proper undergarments too. The right bra can make a huge difference in how clothes fit and how you feel." Madeline blushed furiously at this suggestion. "I hadn't even thought about that," she admitted. "Isn't it weird for someone with my body type to wear a bra?" Amanda shook her head. "Not at all. There are lots of options out there for people with different body types. We can look into bralettes or sports bras to start with. They're comfortable and can help create a more feminine silhouette under clothes." She pulled out her laptop, navigating to a website that specialized in lingerie for transgender individuals. "See? There are so many options designed specifically for people in your situation." Madeline leaned in, her eyes wide as she took in the array of products. "I had no idea all of this existed," she murmured. "The world of women's fashion is vast and wonderful," Amanda laughed. "And now you get to explore all of it." As they browsed through the website, adding items to a virtual shopping cart, Amanda couldn't help but feel a surge of pride and love for her sister. Watching Madeline's face light up with each new discovery, seeing the way she was slowly but surely embracing her true self, it was a beautiful thing to witness. "You know," Amanda said softly as they finished up their online shopping spree, "I'm really glad you felt comfortable enough to share this with me, Maddie. I know it couldn't have been easy." Madeline looked up from the laptop screen, her eyes shining with unshed tears. "I was so scared," she admitted. "I thought you might hate me or think I was a freak." Amanda reached out and squeezed her hand. "Never. You're my sister, and I love you no matter what. This doesn't change that. If anything, it just means I get to know the real you even better." Madeline smiled, squeezing Amanda's hand back. "I don't know what I'd do without you," she said softly. "Well, lucky for you, you'll never have to find out," Amanda declared with a grin. "Now, what do you say we start planning that salon trip? I'm thinking we could make a whole day of it. Haircut, mani-pedi, the works." Madeline's eyes lit up at the prospect. "Really? You'd do all that with me?" "Of course," Amanda exclaimed. "That's what sisters do. We'll have a proper girls' day out, just the two of us." As they began to plan their salon adventure, discussing potential hairstyles and nail colors, Amanda couldn't help but marvel at how much had changed in just a few short hours. The anger and confusion she'd felt upon first discovering Madeline in her dress seemed like a lifetime ago. Instead, she felt a renewed sense of purpose and connection with her sibling. This journey they were embarking on together, helping Madeline discover and embrace her true self, was going to be challenging at times, she knew. There would be obstacles to overcome, difficult conversations to have with their parents and others. But looking at Madeline now, seeing the joy and relief on her face as she finally allowed herself to be who she truly was, Amanda knew it would all be worth it. This was just the beginning of a new chapter in their lives, and she was honored to be a part of it. As the afternoon sun began to dip lower in the sky, casting a warm golden glow through the bedroom window, Amanda realized they'd spent the entire day in this bubble of transformation and self-discovery. Soon their parents would be home from work, and they'd have to face the reality of the world outside this room. "Maddie," she said gently, not wanting to burst the bubble of happiness they'd created, but knowing they needed to address some practicalities. "We should probably talk about what happens next. Like, how do you want to handle things with Mom and Dad?" Madeline's face fell slightly, the joy of the afternoon giving way to anxiety. I don't know," she admitted, her voice small. "I'm not sure I'm ready for them to know yet." Amanda nodded understandingly. "That's okay. You don't have to tell them until you're ready. But we should probably come up with a plan for how to keep this under wraps for now." Madeline bit her lip, looking worried. "What if they find the clothes we ordered? Or catch me wearing makeup?" "We'll be careful," Amanda assured her. "I can keep the clothes in my room for now, and we'll only do makeup when we're sure they won't be around. Maybe we can even look into getting you a lockbox or something to keep your things in, just to be safe." Madeline nodded, looking relieved. "That sounds good. I need some time to figure things out for myself before I'm ready to tell them." "And that's totally valid," Amanda said firmly. "This is your journey, Maddie. You get to decide when and how to share it with others. I'm just here to support you however I can." Madeline smiled gratefully, reaching out to squeeze Amanda's hand. "I don't know what I'd do without you," she said softly. Amanda squeezed back, feeling a surge of protectiveness for her sister. "That's what big sisters are for," she said with a grin. "Now let's get you changed back into your regular clothes before Mom and Dad get home. But don't worry, we'll find plenty of opportunities for you to be your true self." As Madeline reluctantly changed out of the feminine clothes and removed the makeup, Amanda's mind was already racing with plans. She knew this was just the beginning of a long and potentially challenging journey, but she was determined to be there for her sister every step of the way. "Hey," she said as Madeline emerged from the bathroom, once again looking outwardly like the brother their parents knew. "Remember, no matter what you're wearing on the outside, it doesn't change who you are on the inside. The Madeline I got to know today, she's always there, even if others can't see her yet." Madeline's eyes welled up with tears, but she was smiling. "Thank you," she whispered, "for everything." Amanda pulled her into a tight hug. "Always," she promised. "We're in this together, sis, no matter what." As they pulled apart, both wiping at their eyes and chuckling a little at their emotional display, Amanda heard the sound of a car pulling into the driveway. "Looks like Mom and Dad are home," she said. "You ready to face the world?" Madeline took a deep breath, squaring her shoulders. "As ready as I'll ever be," she said with a small smile. Amanda nodded approvingly. "That's my girl," she said, giving Madeline's hand one last squeeze before they headed downstairs to greet their parents.
Thanks for watching, my girlies! Be sure to check out Patreon for more!